here today because on 8th of July, we ended a 99-day long strike. And you remember then, we came here and we spoke to the nation. And we informed them that we never wanted to go on that strike in the first instance. The strike was necessitated by the inaction and the neglect of the employers. And that neglect was evidenced by the fact that they even declined to follow orders of the court. So we were out for 99 days. We had so many voices of reason. We were approached by including the clergy because of the suffering that was out there. And after 99 days, we accepted the directive of the court for us to enter into a return to work agreement with the employers so that we can go back and offer the services. But now it is unfortunate that today, after the timelines that we set elapsed, most of the county governments have not actually implemented the return to work agreement because we had given 60 days from the day of the execution, which expired on the 8th of September. The return to work agreement detailed many issues that had been canvassed in court, issues that the employers had declined to negotiate or to implement, and for which the court directed we file an agreement, which agreement is filed in court and therefore binding to the parties. So the counties, the employers are in breach of the agreement. And I think today, around 12 days after the expiry of the timeline, we actually yet to see even an invite for the initial meeting to deliberate on the CBA from the Council of Governors. What we are seeing is the unorthodox tactics that they are used to, trying to tell us now you should go back and negotiate with each and every county against the direction of court that we should centrally negotiate and finish the same within the 60 days, which expired on 8th. And we have also been seeing them trying to victimize our officials, which also we agreed against. So today, and before I invite the General Secretary so that he can in details elaborate on what I'm saying, including the list of shame for those counties that do not honor agreements, do not honor the court directives, I want to tell Kenyans that the biggest problem, because sometimes we are projected as pro-strikes, but the reality of the matter is that the strikes are necessitated by our employers, who are the county governments and the national government. Where we are today, there is no other option within the law that is left for the union other than the strike, because the Labor Relations Act provides that you can go for negotiation. Once they fail, you go for reconciliation under the Ministry of Labor, which we did. Once that fails, you go to court, which we did, and we have orders. We registered an agreement through arbitration of the court. And so within the stipulated procedures within the law, there is nothing else that we can go back to other than going on strike where we are. And this has been necessitated by the county governments. So today we are here to tell them, if they're inviting us to a strike action, we are ready. And we are open to it. That is what we do as unions when we are challenged, and we will be willing and capable of going for even a longer one until they implement what we agreed for the welfare of our members and also for the welfare of Kenyans, because Kenyans want to be treated by a motivated workforce, a motivated that is not mentally clouded because they do not have enough clinic officers to see them.
The CBA must be negotiated centrally under the COG as agreed and concluded within the next 30 days. And that's what we mean. And I must repeat, negotiated centrally, considering that there have been divergent views in terms of the communication by the COG. Kisii County governments, among other counties, must cease from victimizing members and reverse all arbitrary transfers that has been issued to our members. That all casual and contractual terms that have been given to our members or rather issued to our members by several county governments, as it has been listed above, to be harmonized and be put on permanent and pensionable in the considerable time of 30 days from the date herein. Ensure permanent payment of salaries that have not been paid by 30th by the respective counties, and also remission of the third-party deductions in the next 30 days. Therefore, we will be making our next statement after the 5th of October, where we will have examined in terms of the progress by the counties and the respective employers, that the failure to heed to our demand, the union shall have no option but to result back to the strike action, since all other avenues have already been exhausted. That is our statement, and I want to make a few clarifications in terms of what we have stated here today. That we know very well the agenda of the government is to realize universal health coverage for all the workers. The resources required to ensure that this happen, despite the financial aspect, is the human resource that indeed makes sense, or rather can result to any progress in the health sector. Frustrating clinical officers, who are the simple majority in clinical services, is actually frustrating services at the county level and the national level. We know very well that this country do not meet the threshold in terms of funding of the health sector. We still fall below 4.7% of the total annual budget, meaning we do not even comply to the Abuja Declaration, whose we are party to. And this is what occasion these issues of lack of promotion and also redesignation of healthcare workers, employing of our members in punitive terms that do not meet the criteria. And therefore, we are here to say, as the law-abiding citizen, that we must ask the government to take responsibility of their action. We are asking for people who can honor the agreement to do so, because they have an obligation, having been put in office by Kenyans who expect to get services whenever they meet them. And therefore, this is to say, in the next 30 days, we anticipate, if they do not comply, the Union of Kenya Clinical Officers will be calling for a next strike in this year, so that we can be able to push for the right of our members. Our members are stigmatized because they have a right. Once you give us a law that we comply, we expect you as an employer to comply. And that should not be our problem when we ask you to comply with the law that you have provided. And our agreement should not be a wishful list, but should be obeyed. Similarly, it affects us a lot when there is a court order in place and you find government officers who cannot obey it, continue sitting in office and lecturing everyone on what should be done. We are tired and we cannot continue to tolerate this nonsense. Ya mwisho, nataka kutaja kwamba kama maafisa tabibu, tumesema kwamba sisi tutafuata sheria na tutaendelea kuhakikisha kwamba tunasukuma waliopewa majukumu ya kutuwakilisha katika kitengo chochote, kama ni national, katika national level ama katika ugatuzi, kwamba kukiwepo na sheria ama court order ambayo imetolewa lazima itimizwe. Haiwezi kuwa kwamba hiyo ni kitu ya kuja tu, matamshi ambayo hawezi timizwa. Na kama ndivyo, basi hata sisi kama wahudumu wa afya hatuna wajibu bali kufuata mkondo huo huo ambao tunafundishwa na viongozi ambao wamepewa majukumu na Wakenya. Sisi tuko hapa kusema kwamba tunapokuwa tumeenda kwenye mgomo si kwa sababu tumependa, kwa sababu tumesukumwa na serikali ambayo imeonyesha ishara ya kutojali. Na tunasema kwa sababu hawataki kujali na wao wamepewa majukumu, basi hatutaweza pia kujali, kwa sababu na sisi tuna haki yetu na watu wetu wanaendelea kuathirika kiakili kwa sababu hawatendewi haki na mwajiri.